ready. And this is a meal prep, which is a healthy meal prep for Sister Eats Fit Lose group on Facebook. So I was Facebook live sharing with everybody how I make my meal preps, but Facebook kept on crushing on me. Hence, these are the ingredients I used for the guinea fowl veg soup. I also added some minced herbs and some paprika to all these list of ingredients. This is how far I got to. So I'm adding in there some tomato puree, and the soup is looking good already. It really did smell good, and it does taste good as well. So what I'm going to add in there is some peanut butter, because I definitely want the soup to taste just like Ghana palm nut soup. It is a soup with a twist. It's just veggies and just a little bit of peanut, and it does taste very awesome. What I'm going to add in there next is some scotch bonnet, because we like to always see some scotch bonnet floating on top of our soup. This looks good already. I have turned my attention to my guinea fowl kebabs, or my grilled guinea fowls. So I've already steamed these with a bit of paprika and some herbs, and I've just seasoned it with salt and oil, and I am going to pop it in the oven. I already have some salmon in there grilling. That looks good, isn't it? And now look at it, it's ready. I'm going to use this salmon for my spinach stew. I'm going to leave the guinea fowl in there to grill for a bit. So I'm using some spinach, some prawns, some crabs, scotch bonnet, some onions. I also have garlic and ginger, some minced herbs, paprika. I'm using some coconut oil and so many other ingredients. So I'm adding into my blender some tomatoes, some onions, scotch bonnet, more peppers, and then I'm also adding some cloves in there, and ginger and garlic. I'm going to blend all these together just to make my spinach stew. So spinach stew is very, very healthy if you are someone wanting to lose weight. So I'm not going to use red oil. I'm only using some coconut oil, but just a little bit, because I don't want too much oil in my stew. So I've added in the crabs and the prawns. Yes, the prawns, I have not taken the shells off because I love the shells. It gives it a bit of a crunch, and that is how I like my prawns. You can decide to take the shells off your prawns if you're also using prawns. So this is the tomato mix I have already made, and I have just popped that in there. The smell of the coconut and the tomatoes and all those seafood tastes delicious, and it smells delicious. So I've just added some minced herbs and some paprika in there. That was smoked paprika anyway. That gives it a nice aroma as well. Now I'm adding in the spinach. I didn't add any water in there because the spinach has its own water content. It does not require me to add any water in there. Next, what I'm going to do is to steam my carrots. I've got some hot boiling water into a saucepan, and this is a colander I've just put on there. I'm going to steam my carrot in the colander. This looks good. I'm going to leave it for the steam to do its own job. You saw the soup on the side. This is Sister Eats Fit Lose. So I'm also going to get my rice going, and I use some jasmine rice with some basmati brown rice. Yes, I like to combine the two of them. I just love the fragrances and the texture whenever I cook them together. I'm going to start off with a bit of coconut oil, and what I'm going to add in there next is some onions, because I'm cooking it like the African way. What I will be adding in there next is the rice mixture. So I am going to sort of stir fry it for just a few minutes before I add anything else in there. Next, I'm going to season it with a bit of salt, and not too much salt though. Coconut milk. Yes, I like it when I use coconut milk in my rice. It makes it extra fluffy and more flavor as well. So I'm adding in there some boiled water so that it can cook this rice very quickly. I am not going to be stirring it too much. I'm going to leave it and let it simmer gently and cook very well. Look at that soup and the carrots and my spinach stew. Well, I think the carrots looks good. I'm adding to my stew the grilled salmon and the stew looks good. It looks delicious already. It is not oily and that is exactly how I like my stew. It doesn't have too much water in there because I didn't add any water. I'm going to add a bit of salt to season. Not too much salt. If you're eating too much salt, I will advise you to cut down on your salt. That is the carrots. Look at how soft it is already. So the fork has gone through it and that is perfectly cooked for me. I'm going to set that on the side and I'm going to steam the rest of the veggies, which is the broccoli and the cauliflower. I love these as well. That looks good. That looks good. And the soup, I've already turned that off and I've already turned my spinach stew off. So I'm going to finish off the rice. I didn't stir the rice so many times because I didn't want the grains to break into smaller pieces. So I've just added the chickpeas in there. Sometimes I replace the chickpeas with some sultanas or some red kidney beans. Anything to make my rice extra healthy. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to be cooking some bulgur wheat and some quinoa. I don't know if you've cooked that before, but I've got different ways of making these bulgur wheat and then quinoa. So I'm just combining them all together in one little saucepan and I'm going to make it very fluffy. Maybe you can tell me how you make yours, but this is mine and I love the way I make mine. I'm just adding in there a little bit of boiling water. I've taken it to the hob and I'm going to allow that to cook for a bit. This is how it looks like. And I like adding coconut milk in there. I use coconut milk for everything, don't I? It gives food a very different flavor. That is why I like it. I'm going to add the rest of my chickpeas in there because I don't want that bit to go waste. Everything and anything to make my food extra healthy. Just a little bit of salt just to taste, not too much salt. Sometimes I know people don't put salt in theirs. So I've also added some cashew nuts just for the crunch. I'm not going to leave it for a long time and I'm adding in there some coriander. I love it. It looks good. Sometimes I drizzle it with some honey as well, but today no, that is perfect. Look at that. Feast your eyes for now and I'll tell you more. So this is my grilled. I confirm that is the guinea fowl. It looks delicious, isn't it? That's the spinach stew. I have my bulgur wheat and quinoa, then my rice, then I have some spare of the salmon, then that's my akonfem soup, the guinea fowl soup, some steamed veggies, and I've got all my bowls lined up, ready to get them ready to put in the fridge or the freezer. I am excited about this meal prep. I always love to share whatever I cook online. If you've got some time, I will advise you or invite you to go and watch more of my cooking videos on YouTube, and you can find us under Pink Sister and Diamond Lady. I always put my veggies in the bowls first because I want the veggies to occupy more space than the carbohydrates. That is how I like to do it all the time. And this is the spinach stew. It looks good. I wish I can eat now, but I'm not hungry. All I'm doing is making sure this meal is done. Look at that. I have distributed it in my bowls, and now I'm going to add my rice. So I'm not using a very big spoon for this rice. It looks like just 2 huge tablespoons, isn't it? Because I don't want to be eating too much carbohydrates. That is enough food for dinner or for lunch, and I love it. I hope you are also going to do this at home. Make your own meals to save some time for other commitments such as exercising or spending time with family and friends. It really does help. You just pick whatever meal and then you pop it in the microwave or whichever way you want to heat your food. You just have to take it out on time and get it to room temperature, and then you are good to go. I will advise you that whenever you make these meals, whether you are on weight loss or not, it should be food that your family love as well. You should be eating the healthy meals with your family, not just you. You can share our recipes with others. Look at that kebab. That looks good. Oh, where is soya? I should add some soya to these and have them right now. So some of these meals I'm definitely going to freeze some, and then I will leave some in the fridge, which is very handy. And I love cooking. I'm going to turn my attention to the soup now and get them all ready and sorted in my little bowls, ready to go into the fridge or freezer. So this soup, I'm going to get them in the quantity sizes that I would like to have with my fufu or my banku or my little gari eba or whatever I would like to eat it with. Sometimes I have just the soup on its own, and that fills me up well enough. I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce to you Sister Eat Fit Lose. On our group, you get the chance to learn how to eat healthy, how to do your meal planning, just to avoid taking the slim teas and the tablets. We are losing weight the natural way, day in and day out. You get the opportunity to join us with our Facebook Live exercises, which we do each day with the exception of Sunday, which is a rest day and a day for meal preps. So after you've joined our group, we will also encourage you to join our page, which is Pink Sister and Diamond Lady. On the page, you can find some of the links leading to our YouTube channel, where we have loads and loads of very interesting videos. It's not just cooking videos. There are so many other videos you have to watch as well. Aside that, we will encourage you to share our page and our YouTube channel with your family and friends, and invite lots of people to follow us and to join in our weight loss program. So I've finished dishing out all the meals into these bowls, and I'm going to get them ready for the fridge and the freezer. So the meals are ready to go into the freezer, but I've got these stickers which I have labeled each bowl ready to go into the freezer. That makes it easier to identify what is in each bowl, and then I can choose and pick what I want to eat for lunch or dinner. But when I'm exercising, I tend to eat just less. So these are the meals I am popping into the freezer. I am all set for weeks to come. Thank you again. Come and join us soon.